Alright, going to do a coding HackerRank challenge from tech systems. So let's get started. I actually passed 5 years of professional experience like 2 months ago. That's cool. Wonder why they need that. Email, personal address required. I can't use boom. Do 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 do. It would be cool if they gave like a notes section, like a place where I can write my notes for this. I am more of a writer, personally. Yeah, I don't see like a section for that. That sucks. This is confusing. It's saying 136 is a Okay. 1, 3, and 6 is a subsequence. For whatever reason, it didn't include 2 in there, I guess. But why would you even count this as a subsequence if it doesn't follow the... Like, that's like saying 1 and 6 are a subsequence too. Like, yeah, 1 and 6 are. But if 1 and 6 are a subsequence, I mean, there are a bunch of subsequences. And you could start from any... I wonder if you could start from any element or position inside of the array. Alright. Alright, so if I go through, thinking about if I go through the array that we have and then calculate the longest array from there, like I could start with an empty array, which its length would be 0. Then for every integer inside, or for every element inside of the R array, with our input array, I could go through and start calculating the longest string, or longest substring, or subsequence, that's what they call it, a subsequence, from wherever we are to start. Because I don't think we're only calculating it from, or maybe it didn't say 1 and 6 was an option. But let's assume 1 and 6 are an option, or even 2 and 6 could be an option. It's gonna take, that is going to use way more memory than, yeah, we'll definitely run into like a memory overload at some point doing that option. But it would work. I think, how would you keep it low memory? Let's try this first. So let's say our R equals 32. I don't need that. This is just saying it's empty. And then create empty array to store our longest subsequence. And then I want to go through, or iterate through the array, the input array, and generate a subsequence from each position. So for element, or for element in R, for element is equal to 0 while element is less than r length of r, and we do element plus plus. We iterate through that, and then I would calculate the longest subsequence from here with an array with I'm gonna use another function pretty much, but there's a way to do it inside of this. I don't have it in my head right now. Array. Do I need to return the array? Create the function is expected to return an integer. Okay, just the integer. Okay, longest. So maybe longest subsequence. It's not an array, it's just 0. And subsequence is equal to calculate subsequence of in C or C++, I think it's passed by reference. Oh no, I think it's passed by value by default. Golang might be the same way, but basically I'm just wondering, should I pass it an array, or do I need to pass it an address to an array? Now I think array is passed by reference always. Pass it the array if subsequence is greater than longest subsequence, then longest subsequence is equal to subsequence. So for each one, go through, calculate the subsequence from that position, and then check if the subsequence is greater than the longest subsequence we have so far, and if so, update that value. Check if we have a longer subsequence. If we found, check if longer subsequence found. All right, and then this function it's going to take an array I gotta blow my nose so I know y'all can see me. Let me stop. I gotta take this seriously. Calculate subsequence, take an array, return an integer. When we calculate the subsequence, I want to go through that array, and I'm going to say, all right, I'm at element 0 or element 1, or better yet, I'm at the first element. Is the second element, or is this next element? Ooh, no, it doesn't matter. Okay, over here we need to keep track of the array, actually, because let's say I have subsequence, or what would you call this? Strictly increasing subsequence, and it's equal to an array equal to an array of integers 32 that's empty. And and I would even say the first element, I would always add the first element. So strictly increasing dot push. I guess they don't have a push in Go. Is equal to nah, that's not right. Now I'm gonna Google that. How to push into an array with Golang. So append. Knew it was something. Alright, so dot append. I want to append R, of 0. Equals an array of integer 32. It's so strange. It's saying it has no append. Alright, let's see. Does R dot append? Alright, so strictly it's saying that strictly increasing sequence, which we definitely know is an array or a slice of 32 of integer 32 elements, it's saying doesn't have a method called append. Alright. Yeah, you got me. Strictly increasing subsequence is equal to an array of int 32. I'm pretty sure this is a slice. I'm like very sure that's a slice. Like mad sure that is a slice. And I'm very sure that is it trying to say one of these? Yeah, it's an array of int 32. And then I could even put 1, 2, blah, blah. I could do that. But it's saying that okay, it's not a method. It's just a function that exists inside of Golang. Gotcha. My bad. My bad completely. Array of 0. I am aware that this could potentially have like an element out of bounds or yeah, index out of bounds error because I'm not even checking the length of array. I'm assuming that they don't give me any empty arrays, but that in a production app or software, you wouldn't want to assume anything like that because this is definitely going to panic. So append that to this subsequence, strictly increasing subsequence. Then let's see. All right, now that I added that first one, and I'm adding the first element to it because I'm going to go through and say, so I'm just gonna start, and I'm actually gonna start from the second element. Again, we're assuming, maybe I could, I don't know, making assumptions that there are more than 3 elements. Ooh, I've been on this one for 20 minutes so far. More than 2 elements, actually. I wonder if that's too long. But I should be done in 1 moment. Strictly increasing subsequence, append array for place for place equal to 1. Equal to 1. Oh, parentheses are unnecessary. Knew something was wrong in there. It looked wrong. For places equal to 1, place is less than place is less than the length of array, then we want to place plus plus. We want to increment the place. If so I'm gonna check to see if the current element is greater than the element that we have so far. If place, oh no, if array at element place is greater than strictly increasing subsequence at length of minus 1. Yeah, that's a wild thing to do. It looks like it works though. Basically, I'm saying if the element in the current, or the element at our cursor is greater than, oh no, if it's greater than the element, the last element we saw, and we always start with the first element, and then, all right, if it's greater than the last element we saw, then we want to do strictly boom 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 is equal to of array place, and then we're going to return length of strictly increasing subsequence, pretty much. Alright. Run code. Successfully run test. They said test case. Okay, so it passed for 0, 1, and 2. My output was, it doesn't tell me the input. Man, I got 0, 1, 2. Oh, 3 also failed. But man, I can't use print line wire, including corner cases. I already know my code is not set up for corner cases. Like, I already know that. But it worked. Am I comfortable with it working? This is just a coding assignment challenge. So I really want to say, yeah, I have 2 more left. And I have 25 minutes for each of them. So I'm going to submit this. And yes, I understand, I'm assuming, there's a couple assumptions that I made. One assumption is that, yeah, there are more than 2 elements. And I said for starting at the first place, and we're checking your output expected, expected output. Am I bugging? Your output, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now, why hide the test case? Like, explain to me what the problem is. Doesn't make sense to me. But hey, it's whatever. Submitting. Ooh, this is JavaScript code. Why'd you give me JavaScript code? I could probably do it, but I'm just curious, like, why was I given this? Okay, this is the language. Okay. And that one was like, complete the requirement as shown to pass the test case. Complete the element as shown to pass the test case. Let's see what it does. Run. Shits and giggles. I think this is like, it's a trick. They didn't tell me anything about a React submission. Or at least, I thought this was a Java or a Golang role. I could do it, it's just like, this seems, like somebody trying to trick me. Oh, that's another thing too. I don't have enough room in here. What is this supposed to do? Okay. I should be able to add a task. Add a task. Right now, test 1. Add task. Oh, add task doesn't work. Add task. Input data test. Default tasks. Constant tasks. I gotta blow my nose. I'll be back. Get up, Uzi. Okay, Kevo, check it out. Let's get back to it again. Let's go. Alright. Use state would allow me to set state. No, I don't even have a state in here. That would have been really helpful if they wanted to, like, create something that would be helpful. They hard-coded this property. So task 1 and task 2 delete. Basically, what's happening now is the delete button is not attached to any type of function. So we would need to create a function. What would I call this? Delete. Yeah, I'm skipping this. I don't use React enough for this to even work for me. It's just gonna waste my time and y'all's. Let me do the next one. I might even go back to the first one. I'm probably not gonna do that second one. A data analyst is given an array representing data for in days. The analyst performs k updates on the data, where each update is of the form J and R, L and R. This indicates that the elements of the array from index L to index R inclusive are negated. What does that mean? What does negated mean? Oh, no, I get you. It didn't days. Negated. After all updates. Okay. If you tell me it's 4, I mean there's 4 elements inside of the data. We want to update 2. Updates 2 and 4. Or updates 1 and 2. Oh, 2 lies in 0, 1, 2, and 4. Where each update is in the form of a. This indicates that the elements from the array from index L to index R are negated. Oh, one based indexing is used. Oh, they messed the whole game up with that. What languages actually even use one based indexing? Might be some old functional languages. Most modern language, I think even C uses zero indexing. I don't even know of a language that uses one based indexing, but okay, I digress. Okay, so when we say one based indexing, if you say 2 to 4 is negated, that means -4 to, oh, inclusive. Okay, so R is inclusive, but not the first element is inclusive. So L, if you say 2 to 4, you really mean 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 become negated. So that's why we go from -5 to +5 and +2 to -2. The second update is we're going to change everything from the in 2. It says 1 to 2, but it's only if 1 is not included, so it's really only 2. So 2 becomes negative, and that's how we get to -4. Oh, they tried to trick the game up like that. I see. Because technically, if you look at that example, you might think, well, I don't know, but I could see that could trip someone up, really. Uh, the answer is -1, -4, 5, -2. Yeah. These 5 and 2 are from the first update. -4 was changed by the second update. Complete the function get final data in the editor with the following parameters. So we take the data. Data is that. We take the updates, which is a matrix. So we have a matrix of updates. So if we go through each update and make those changes, well, first we need to identify what the update is. So I would think about going through the updates row by row, and for the first row, make those updates. That would be in its own separate helper function. And then I love a helper function. Like I do. It it just makes it so much easier to break up a problem. But we go through and honestly, what's the output? Well, the output is the new array. So I need a, what do you call it? We should keep the original array. Ooh, I wonder, would a second update ever update anything that happened that wasn't updated in the first update? You get what I mean? Like, let's say we do the updates for 2 and 4, and then instead of it being 1 and 2, it was something like 1 to 3, right? In the first update, I changed 5, well, -5 to +5. But now, if it's called again in another update, do I change +5 back to -5? Because if you do that, then you need to always, like in my helper function, I'll always need to pass it the most updated array. Yeah, that's fine. That's easy to do. But you could either pass it the updated array or you can pass it the original array. Uh, yeah, if it shouldn't break it either way if you do the updated array or the even array. Yeah, it shouldn't break anything about the code or about the function. It's just something like, did you do it or not? Because you could see a bug if you weren't doing it, but you expected it to be done. Okay. So let me do my first big one. They said like, oh, he done did his big one, huh? I'm always doing the big one, y'all. No. Create our updated array. Well, updated data, right? Updated data. And we're gonna make that equal to an array of integer 32. And part of me is like, copy and party all night. Let me talk to you. Well, do you even need to distinguish between updated data and the original data? If you're only ever going to use the updated data, you might as well only use the data that you were given. We need that final data after all updates. Return integer and the final data after all updates. Updated data. Yeah, I guess you don't even need, but you do have to keep track of it. But if that's the case, you just return. Make sure that data is always equal to the data that you return from the function. Yeah, so alright, I'll do that instead. Iterate through the updates. Iterate through the updates. So I'm going to start off for update is equal to 0. Yeah. I could have did 1. If I do 1 inside of the update of element, I would just do update of update minus 1. Either way, but I would keep it at 0 index. I only wanted to do it for 1 index, 1 based indexing, because that's supposed to be what's in our mind today, for whatever reason. If we have 1 based indexing, I wonder if that changes anything about how I'm going to do this loop also. Doesn't change anything about the loop, but it does make, I need to be careful when I do my update to make sure I'm updating accurately. So update of is equal to 0, while update is less than updates, or no, length, less than length of updates. And update plus plus. And then we're going to say data is equal to update data. Update or make update. Apply update. Let's call it that. Apply update. And apply update will take an integer, will take a update. No. It will take an updates of update plus data. And then it'll go through, make all of the updates, and then at the end we'll return data. So func apply update takes, yeah, it'll take two of these, two of them things, and it take the updates plus the data, and if I'm giving a start and I'm giving an end, I need to say, okay, for I'm gonna say start is equal to, oh, that's wrong. I want to call this is going to be data. This is going to be update. And then we're going to return int. Now we're going to return, oh, another one. Start is going to be equal to update of start. None of that. No, update of 0. We need to get the starting index. And then we're going to get index. End is going to be update of 1. That's how we get 2. So start would be 2. End would be 1. Two would be 1. And then we're going to, and it's going to be update start of that minus 1. No, is this where it's important? Nah, I think this is cool for start. And then you go for place is equal to start. While I could even do something like while. Is there a while in Go? Might be whiling. I think there's only 4 loops in Go, honestly. Alright, so for start, well, start is no start. for place start plus 1 while start is less than end. While start is less than end, we want to do, no, our place is less than end, less than or equal to end. End is 1 based, so less than or equal to end minus 1. Minus 1. So we start at wherever we're starting. And we start at the right of the starting place. And then we go until we get to the end, the ending place. And it's 1 based. So yeah, there's 2 things in here. I need to keep track of the fact that we're on a 1 based index. The start on a 1 based index is going to be update of that minus 1. That's how we get back on a 0 based index. Subtract 1 to get back on a 0 based index. And then same right here. So we make that same. Subtract 1 to get back to a 0 based index. And then the index, we can be sure that index, well, I'm assuming that index will always be greater than, well, if it's 1 based, it can't be less than 1. So even if it was, let's say it was 2, so 2 minus 1 is our, no, it's the start, update of 2 minus 1, so it will be 1, 0, 1, and then our end would be 4, which is 4 minus 1, which would be 3. 1, 2, 3. But we also have to put in here that we start to the right of the start. So that's why even if it was 1, we really start at 2. For place is equal to 2, then we do while place is less than the end. While less than the end, less than or equal to, because I also want it to be cool, even if it was 3 in this case. If it was 3, it still needs to work. Then place plus plus. And alright, for place start while place is less than or equal to the end, we go to the next step. And the next step is going to say, okay, alright. How do you change an element inside of an array? I think you just set it to something different. Okay, so current value is equal to data of place. And then I'm gonna say updated value, new value. I would even call it old. Old value. Well, we can say current. Current value is equal to the old value. And then new value is equal to -1 times current value. So new value is equal to -1 times. That's how we get the negation. The array at the place. Negate the value. And then we're going to say data of place is now equal to new value. New value. And so we've updated the value in place. And then at the end of that, so that would have made the change. Now when we're done, we need to return data, because data should be updated now with our new value. Oh, so this one totally failed. Standard in your output, expected output 3, -1, -3, 0, 7. So what happened right here? Your output for 1 was supposed to be okay. 1 and 3. Well, let's see. And here I have some time. I could do some print values. So I want to run enter row format. So I want to print updates or print data. Run code. Yeah, I wonder if that's right. Printing an array, man. I'm googling it. Format.print. Alright, so I got 31307. Okay. 31307. Let's print the updates. So the first update is 1 and 4. It's 1 and 4. So we're saying everything from 0 to 3 should be negative. So 0 to 3. Yeah, I need a paper. Let's see. Because I would like to take this whole thing. Update 1. Let's see. Alright. No, I would like to do this on paper first. Very quickly. Just to show it. I could just use like a note. Okay, code assignment. Okay. So, update 1 should give us, so everything from 0 to 3. So 3 should become negative 3. 1 should become negative 1. 3 should be negative 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Or no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 0, 7. But nah, 0, that wasn't the problem. 3, 1, 3, 0. So for this update, it should have been from 1 to 4. So I should see negative 3, 0, negative 7. And then we should see three to 5. So it should be 1, 2, 3. It should be 0 and positive 7. And we gotta keep that. And then we should see 1 to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We should see 1 to 4. So we should see 3, 0, negative 7. And 1 to 4. Starting here. 3, 1, 3, 0, 7. If we do 1, so negative 3, 0, negative 7, boom. Then we do 4 and 5, basically. 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Then we do 2 through 4. So 2 through 4. So this should have been negative 2. 1, 2. Through 5. 1 plus 3, 1, 3, negative 1, 3, 0, negative 7. 3, 1 and 4. 2, that was 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 becomes negative it becomes positive, so negative. Alright. And then we go to three and five. 1, 2, 3. That just becomes positive. So it's really just 4 and 5. Before was negative. And then we take this. And then we go 2 to 3. So 0, no, 1, 2. You don't do that. You make this negative. Negative 3. 3, negative 1. Negative 3, 0, 7. 3, negative 1. Okay. 3, negative 1. So 3, negative 1. So at some point it flipped. So I want to now it locked me out or something? What's going on? Okay, there we go. About to say, oh, they gave up on me. They said, look, we can't do nothing else with you. Let me see. Format, print, data. I should have just copied that line. Okay, let's go. Okay, check it out. So the first one we got 3, 3, 1, negative 3, 0, 7. So it was messed up off the first route. Why was it messed up in the first route? Did it not understand that? Let's say 1 and a 4. So if 1, start at the right. Start at the right. So 1. No, it's 1 right here. So we started right here. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Start. For place start. That's weird that just that one would be messed up. This is data. Then we're gonna say start at 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to flip this to a negative. Flip this to a negative. This is 0. And then negative 1. Yeah, it was wrong from the first step. So for some reason, the first index breaks. Is that the same for... let's look at a different test case. Run tests. Run as custom. So expected 3, 3, negative 3. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so if it says 1 to 2, we need to just change 3 to -3. Okay. And then 2 to 4. It's 2, 1, 2. Starts right here. If it's 2 to 4, 1, 2, not inclusive, doesn't use that, uses this 3. This 3 should become a -3. Thing is 1, 2. This is included because it's in the 2 thing. That's why it becomes negative. So 1 to the right. To the right, to the right. So 1, 2, 2 flips to negative. That's good. We like that. Then we say, alright, 2, 2. I'm actually confused though. I think this one is right, ain't it? Your output is 9. Oh, okay. Well, why would it be -9? Updates. Your output is 9. For whatever reason, I'm doing it one too many times. Your output is 9. But why would 9 change? Okay, 1, right? But 1 is not inclusive. 1 and 2, let me look at this one. This is basically the same thing. If we look at 1 and 2, 1, 2. So So 2 and 4 is so everything from that index to above is negated. I think I'm doing something not right, so I'm gonna drop that. I don't know if that's right, but I want to see. Debug output, expected output. Okay, I was off somehow. I don't actually understand how I was wrong that time. I understand that it was wrong, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I have 2 minutes, but that would be something I would want to play around with. Like, it was a simple